What are these concentration camps like?
Um, First of all, it is indoctrination camp. The aim, the goal is not killing people or like toxicizing people. It's indoctrination camp. The first of all, I can tell you the first what the prisoners, what the detainees face. The first, they ruin your dignity, ask you turn it like um, put off your old clothes, ask you stand, and ask you to walk back and forth and bow. And this is like it's it's in front of the others, in front of other. Like at the time, I faced this about 20 prisoners and other four like prison guards. If it's for checking, you can check alone. The first thing is ruin your dignity. Like you are here, you are nobody. You have to listen whatever we tell you, whatever we instruct you. This is the first. Second, in the like a cell, like in the so-called classroom, like a dormitory, so-called, um, there is no privacy. For example, that like a three cameras, 24 hours watching you, and like at night, the light is on. And like when you're walking, camera is just focusing on you and take a picture like this. Just you can hear this. And your voice being recorded there. It means that you don't have a privacy. And like I feel very like first night I feel very embarrassed because when I'm when I want to sleep, I need to go to toilet. But the camera just focused to me and take a picture. And I think, what's going on here? I'm just going to toilet. And why are you taking picture of that? And I know somebody is watching because of taking picture. I feel somebody is watching. So I feel very embarrassed. Yes, I'm doing my toilet. Yeah. So the first of all, that like ruin your dignity and then like ask you to feel that already you are under control, you are under custody, you are under like you are there open with your like physically or mentally. The problem is the second. There's a propaganda. Propaganda started after like few days and after tomorrow, and then the classroom. The classroom, you like there's like teacher and the students are separated. There is a bar between teacher and the student, and the two armored police SWAT in Chinese. It's just standing two sides of the teacher, and then the like so-called teaching started. Like I still remember that yeah, it's very bad that like about Uyghur culture. It's re-explaining Uyghur culture. Like Uyghur culture sexualized. For example, that like um, the teacher. It's I remember very clearly that Uyghur had depending on Uyghur history, Uyghur had 40 days of wedding. Uyghur wedding is 40 days. And do you know why it's 40 days? You just listen. And then because of its group sex.
What? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wedding 40 days, it means group sex. They are doing this. It means that Uyghur culture is sexually very open. Uyghur culture is very open society. And from this perspective, Chinese culture is very conservative. Uyghur is open. And at the time, I thought that, what are you talking about? And like he said, another topic that about Uyghur lady. Uyghur lady is open. Uyghur lady have a 40 before they get married. Uyghur braid their hair. Uyghur ladies 40 times. It explained that one Uyghur lady can have with 40 male partner. Because of Uyghur lady can braid their hair 40.
One for each guy.
Yeah. And what are you talking about? Like, it means that like you're in the classroom, just insult you that like, just insulted, this is Uyghur. You are thinking about like something different, your imagination, but this is the Uyghur culture. You are not in your thinking. The Uyghur is like this. Like teach you Uyghur, like Uyghur is this. And another very interesting example that like about history. Uyghur is not native to Xinjiang. They are from Mongolian. The Uyghurs' ancestors are Mongolian. What? But you have to listen. You have to listen to it. And Uyghur is not. And after that, there is a law. Law said that like before Uyghur have this kind of group sex and this kind of feudal. So we have the law to consent to organize Uyghur culture with the modern way. Without law, Uyghur have sexual diseases and like infectious diseases. This law implemented because of this put Uyghur culture in the right way, in the push Uyghur culture to the right direction. That's why we have this law.
So basically, they're trying to convince people that the Uyghur culture is bad, and it's the Chinese Communist Party that made everything great. They're telling you this in a concentration camp that you were in because you started kindergarten.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like Uyghur culture is bad. Uyghur culture is backward. Uyghur culture is what are you practicing is wrong. And this is the way you have to follow. This is the right way. Always there's a screen showed that like always this is new Kashgar, this is old Kashgar, this is new Urumqi, this is old Urumqi, and this is new Uyghur, this is old Uyghur.
And I imagine anyone who criticizes what they're being told, I bet that doesn't go well for them.
Oh, of course, the camera always watching you. You shouldn't feel bad, because if you feel bad, the camera will find. So you have to smile. You have to always say yes, it is, because you know the camera is watching you, the big brother is watching you.
Wow.
At that time, first I thought that what are they doing, and then I thought, yeah, they are testing you. In my mind, I think they are testing you actually. What's your feeling? Because the camera are there. They're testing you. And then, depending on the test, and they categorize it. Dangerous one, and really dangerous one, and the normal dangerous one, and less dangerous one. 3 categories.
You're always dangerous. It's just how dangerous you are. Yeah.
Of course.
So what do they do to people who don't want to play along with this little game?
It is impossible. It is impossible to reject, or it is impossible to avoid this game. You have to follow. You have to. I followed, for example. Yeah, it's right. Yeah. And sometimes I ask questions, further questions. Yeah, maybe, Uyghur is. You're talking about Uyghur are originated from Mongol. I think Uyghur originated from Chinese, Han Chinese.
I bet they love that.
Yeah, let them feel better. Let them feel happy.
Do you think that the brainwashing worked on people?
We cannot say. From my observation, it not worked on people as Chinese government expected. For example, that the people will not feel that their culture backward, their culture like primitive or something like that, but they feel that they are always under control. They are always under under surveillance. And like for example, in the concentration camp, you always talk, oh, Chinese government is good, and Chinese Communist Party is great. And this kind of conversation you can hear outside also, because of people get used to it inside. And for example, that like in Uyghur, we said after you sneezing, we said, God bless you. It's common word for Uyghur. And now Uyghurs say, just bless you. And then after somebody died, we said, God give him peace. But we said just the peace, not the God this word. And before, like Uyghur get married and pray God to have a better life. But now, Communist Party would have a good future. Allow them to have a good future. This kind of words. And like, I'm a linguist. Your word create your identity. Your word create your personality. It will influence. But I don't have enough evidence how this like concentration camp created the new Uyghur. But I always watch a Uyghur movie, like Chinese TikTok or something. I found that like Uyghur always talk that they are in concentration camp. Even they are in the movie, even they are in the stage. You can feel that they are like, because I have stayed there, so I know what's the conversation, what's the like language looks like. So I found out that it's the same. The language changes because of the oppression, because of this concentration camp, because of the indoctrination.